Hello everybody, welcome to the sound test stream. Okay, so today I want to show you how you can record your audio and also have it record MIDI data from your hardware synths into Cubasis, and then have Cubasis either play and record your hardware synths. Now I'm using the Microbrute Red, thanks to Arturio for sending me this absolutely fab synth, and we shall be doing presets and stuff with this as well. However, today I want to show you how you can record. It could be any hardware synth. What you will need is an audio interface, so you can take the actual audio from your synth, whether it be mono or stereo, into your audio interface. And you will also need a USB interface as well, or a USB hub that goes into your iPad as well. So I'm using the Arturio Audio Fuse, which has audio and a USB hub, but any USB hub will do and any audio interface will do. Super simple. I will show you how to set this up from scratch in a sec, but to demonstrate the kind of thing you can do, at the moment I have a polysynth here, to get my mouse pointer, a polysynth here in channel 3, which is a MIDI instrument. And you know the Microbrute is in poly, so it's a MIDI controller as well. Okay, and then I have some MIDI data here from Electronic Sounds. So I have this. So that's just the polysynth playing the MIDI data. However, if I open my routing for this, you will see that in all MIDI ports here, I have Microbrute selected, not Microbrute MIDI interface, but Microbrute, like this. So what happens now is if I close this and open up this mixer channel, now this MIDI data here, this MIDI data will be playing the Microbrute synth, and to demo that we can just press play. Okay, so that's all very cool, but what's even cooler is that we can record that data as well. So all we need to do is make sure that we have our track 1 armed for recording, and then we can do a counting. And what will happen is, because we've got both armed for record, now it wouldn't work if this was off because you wouldn't hear it. Well, actually, it probably would. So you probably don't even need the volume up or the recording. So you definitely don't need the record engaged. Okay, so you can switch the record engaged off for that anyway. That was just on, I don't know why. But if we hit our counting now, what will happen is that MIDI data will be recorded onto track 2. Obviously, because the MIDI is playing track 1 because of the routing here from the MIDI. So normally it would say none, and then you just hook it up to the actual thing that's plugged in via your USB. And then you can do this and then just hit record. Make sure it's armed for record as well. Stop that now. And now you see we've recorded our info in there. So if we can stop monitoring the synth now, and we can just play it. And of course, we've just got an audio track now, so we're free to apply effects. You can apply effects before you start recording to, you know, mess around with the sound. We want to hear the synth again, we just... So, let's do this. Let's delete this track here completely, and let's delete this track. So all we're left now is my microphone channel. So what we need to do is add an audio track, which is going to be so we can hear the microbrute. If we just wanted to use our synth as a MIDI controller, we wouldn't need to add an audio track. And now let's add a MIDI track, and you'll hear that straight away, because we're armed for record, we're going to hear that piano. Now we can leave it on piano, okay? And then in track 1, we're going to go to routing, and we're going to go to mono. And I know it's in channel number 2 because my mic is in number 1. So let's hit monitor. And there's our sound. Let's quickly change our sound up. So what we want to do now is be able to record what we're playing, but I want to record the MIDI data. Say I make a mistake. Say I've got a sequencer that's going something like this. I don't want to record audio in for 5 minutes. I want to be able to do the MIDI. So what we need to do is arm this one, and now we've got both playing. So the piano and the microbrute, because they're both monitored. Now we're not going to record the audio. We can record the audio for both, okay? If we wanted to. There's no real point because, you know, your timing probably will be different for this, but we're going to make sure the quantize is switched on, auto quantize I've switched on to whatever resolution you like. I've got it on 116, so that's okay. So monitoring both, having the MIDI channel armed for record is the same as monitoring, but it's going to record the MIDI data in quantized, but we're still going to be able to hear this, the synth, but we don't want to hear the piano, so because it's the synth track we're interested in. So I'm going to do something like, so that would be like a sequence. So we can set that up over, say, let's see, 4 bars, say. So we're set up over 4 bars. We've got loops switched on, so we just need to record our MIDI data in via the piano roll. And because our piano is armed for record, track 2 isn't, but it could be. Okay, so you could do a test record with both audio and MIDI. So what we're going to do now is switch our metronome on. So we've got a count in and time for our sequence as well. So let's hit record now. So let's unmonitor my mic. So now we've got our quantized MIDI data, and we might have made a mistake. Cool thing is now, all we need to do is tap on this, take out that stray note there, just erase it. And now we're back to probably, which is pretty good on a spot on MIDI, but we won't know. Let's engage it to play our track. So you see we've got it selected now here. No MIDI output. Click on this, microbrute. And now what will happen is when I press play, this MIDI will play the microbrute, which is very cool. But what's also brilliant now is you can go in and edit that MIDI, you can transpose it, what have you. If you wanted to say, I don't know, transpose it, or do whatever you want. And then, of course, at 240 BPM, which you ain't playing that quick, right? You can then just record that data in, and I'll quickly show you how to do that again. We don't need to have that armed for record now. We've got that info. Also, as well, don't forget, if you did want to hear this as well and do a blend, you could just turn this up. Okay, so now all you need to do we can turn that down again. We don't need to hear the piano. We can, if we want to, we can apply some effects to this track. Let's do that, shall we? Let's apply a little bit of the New Waves HT which this is coming out on Monday if you're watching this now. Okay, so I'll turn this down a little bit. Okay, so now we've played this. So now what we'll do is press record and play, and we can record that effect in with the audio as well. Personally, I'd record it in afterwards, but apply it afterwards. But just to prove we're recording both the audio and the effect this time, because you might want to freeze it, etc., etc. Let's just do this and then hit arm on here. We can switch that off, no deal. And yeah, we don't even need to have our loop on now neither. Okay, and there you go. There is our recorded audio. Let's switch off the monitoring so we're not hearing the synth, and we're just going to hear what's been recorded. And of course we can normalize this and etc. So. And that guys is how you record your MIDI data to play your hardware synths and also record your audio in as well. You need two pieces. You need the audio interface and also a USB interface as well, which is doing the MIDI part of it, and the audio is doing the audio part of it, obviously. And anytime you want to rehear, why can't I rehear now? Oh, monitor. Not record. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys later. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, or please subscribe to my channel. That was a birthday present of one of my daughters, Lydia. Yeah, so brilliant. Top job, cool beans. Consider becoming a Patreon, etc., etc. Bless you all. I will see you later.